All right, hello Algebra 2. Welcome to Yak Math Videos. This is going to be the last one, I think, of 2019. Next year, one of my goals is to upload a new video every single week, whether that's for Algebra 2, Calculus, Stats, who knows. Anyway, this is your Algebra 2 Chapter 4 Mega Test Review video. All the answers are not in it. You're going to get answers for every section up into the solving equations one, so pay attention in class. Today's video is brought to you by the incredible book Can't Hurt Me. Shout out to David Goggins for this great work. We will be talking about it class. Google this book. Need to read it. And new nutrition, immunity. All right. Stay healthy, stay active, stay hydrated. Oh, book fell down, but message is still there. All right. Anyway, folks, here we are. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at this first section, number 1 through 4. State whether each function has a minimum or maximum value. That's the first thing. State the vertex. That's a point. And state the y-intercept. This was a 4-point question for Honors Algebra 2. Here it is. First off, this is number 2. All right. I did not yet make a copy that you have hopefully in your hands right now. So here's what we got. First off, the y-intercept is when x is 0. The y-intercept is staring right at you. It's -7. You're going to write the y-intercept is y equals -7. That's all you got to write. Y equals -7. That's a no-brainer. Secondly, that is a negative x squared. A negative x squared makes the igloo. An igloo has a maximum value. Folks, those two answers, half of the points, you just get by looking. Now, what caused Honors Algebra 2 some issues was finding the vertex. That is negative b over 2a. Your b value is 4. A is a -1. So the opposite of b over 2 times a is going to be 2. So your vertex is going to be 2 comma something. To figure out that something, you take 2 and plug it in for x. I'm going to square 2 step with the negative. Plus 4 times 2 minus 7. It's going to be a -4 plus 8 minus 7, which is a -3. Your vertex is 2, -3. All right, those questions do take a little bit of work, but half of it is looking right at you. Let's take a look at number 3, folks. First off, the y-intercept is right there. It is a -2. You write y equals -2. There's a +3 as the leading coefficient. When it's attached to x squared, it means it makes the u, and a u has a minimum. All right, negative b over 2a. If b is 6, the opposite of 6 is a -6 all over 2 times a, which is 3. That is -1. So your vertex is at -1 something. Take -1 and plug it in for x. Folks, you need to know how to solve equations. You need to know how to factor and FOIL quickly. And you need to know the order of operations, or the second semester is going to be too hard. All right? Let's get it in our brains, folks. We can do it. -1 squared is 1, which I don't know why I put the squared there again. It is 1. Minus 6 minus 2 gives you that. All right, there we go. The vertex is -1 and -5. Then the next section, 5 through 10, state the conjugate of the complex number. Folks, the conjugate has the same first term, same second term. The only thing different is the addition or subtraction sign. It's opposite in the middle. All right, it's that easy. 12 plus 3i would be a 12. A 3i, it was plus, now it's minus. You need to think of 10 as a 0 minus 5i. What's the conjugate of that? 0 plus 5i, which is just 5i. All right, this first page, again, you're going to get about, 30% of the total answers. All right, page 2, it says write the quadratic equation given, with the given roots. So if I know that x is -3 and x is a -7, I know inside the parentheses it's got to be x plus 3, which was equal to 0. X plus 7, which was equal to 0. It's the opposites. What is inside the parentheses. The opposite of the factor is your solution. Then I take that down to FOIL town. First, outer, inner, last. That's what I'm looking for. All right? It's a pretty easy question until I give you, what is that? A rational function. X equals -2/3, a fraction. X equals 1. Well, x minus 1 would be in the one of the parentheses. If I move over the -2/3, I have x plus 2/3. I didn't give you any equations with fractions, so we're not going to have one here. Instead, we're going to multiply everything by that denominator 3. So that would be a 3x plus 2, which is in the other parenthesis, and then just first, outer, inner, last. There we go. Then we have an entire page, or the rest of the page is find each product, folks. That's foiling. Find the product, FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. Those are conjugates, so the middle term is canceled. We need to know how to FOIL. There's 18, first, outer, inner, last. There we go. Notice on 20 it has 4x plus 3, all that squared. Again, there is a trick, but you can just write it twice. You square the inner term, you square the first term, then the inner product is 12x, which is doubled, and then you square the last term. Or you can just FOIL it like we did there. No big deal. You can pause this when you need to, folks. Next page is factoring. You've got 4 easy factoring ones and 4 not so easy factoring ones. 22, well, multiply 63, differs by 2, a 9 and a 7 do that. Middle term's negative, so 9, the bigger factor, is also negative. 23, well, multiplies to 30 and adds to 11. Both are positive. 6 and 5, you know that the order doesn't matter. They're both positive there. Now we have to use guess and check. So I gave an example. This is a very easy one because there's only one way to get 2, and there's only one way to get 3. And everything is positive. That's great. So I know it's got to be a 1 and a 3. Now this first time I made a boo-boo because look, you check it by, that's 1x, that's 6x. 6x and a single x do not give me the middle term of 5x. Don't put a minus there because then 3 times a negative 1 will give you a negative 3, not positive 3. Okay, then when I switched it, I put the positive 3 there and a positive 1 there. I get 2x plus 3x is the 5x that I want. So that is the correct factoring. That is not. Okay, those are the hardest ones potentially on your test. Sorry about this next one. Again, there's only one way to get 2x squared. It's got to be a 2x and an x. Factors of 20, there's 4 and 5. 1 and 20, 10 and 2. Some of you are probably thinking 4 and 5. So I don't know. Is the 4 positive? Is it negative? Where's the 5 go? Is it negative also? Who knows? Like, is the 5 negative? Is the 4 positive? You just got to guess, folks. You have to start somewhere. So that is a 5x. That's a negative 8x. Negative 8x plus 5x is a negative 3x. All right? I'll talk more about those in class. Page 4 then just says, simplify and write in a plus bi terms, form, I mean. 30, you're just subtracting. 15 minus 9 is 6. 5 minus a negative 4i. 5i minus a negative 4i is 9i. That's your answer. 31, we have addition. Negative 11 plus 7 is a negative 4. 2i plus a negative 3i is minus I. Got some multiplication again. Something squared means write it twice. You guys need to know that I squared is a negative 1. So if that was a positive 4i squared, it will turn into a negative 4. 64 minus 4 is 60. Again, we'll talk about a lot of those in class. And then here's 36. First, outer, inner, last. 5i times a negative 4i is a negative 20i squared, which will make that into a positive 20. 30 plus 20 is 50. And page 5, folks, this is the last page I'm going to do with you. We're going to do all these solving quadratics in class together. 39 through 44 are all about completing the square. All right, so you're going to take the middle term, which is negative 10. Take half of it. It's negative 5. Negative 5 squared is 25. That is the C value. You need to write 25. You need to circle 25, or say C equals 25. Then what multiplies to 25 and adds to negative 10? Negative 5 twice. You need to write it as a perfect square, which it is. All right. 44, same type of deal, only a positive 28. Half of it is 14. Square 14, that's 196. That is your C value. What multiplies 196? Adds 28. It's always half the middle term. So it's x plus 14, all of that squared. And then the discriminant, folks, the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. It is what is inside the square root in the lovely quadratic formula. So you simply do that. It's arithmetic. B is 3, a is 2, c is 7. B squared minus 4ac is a 9 minus 56. That's a negative 47. All right, when you have plus or minus root negative 47, you're going to have plus or minus I root 47. That is 2 imaginary roots, 2 imaginary solutions. All right, folks, that is a good start for us. This test is going to be Friday, January 10th in the new year, the new decade, 2020. All right, Yak Math Videos signing out.